I know, there's no such thing as perfect. But hear me out. There are things out there that are near perfection, like an amazing holiday, a movie that stays with you for the rest of your life, or a game that is just simply so amazing, nothing could ever come close to it. You play a title and then your world and your life will never be the same. Those are the perfect 10 out of 10 games that I'm talking about today. And I know opinions are highly subjective, so if I don't mention your perfect game, then leave it in the comments section below. I'm Josh, welcome to HotFix Gaming. Let's jump straight into number 10, Plague Tales. It was hard to pick which one to mention from this series, so I'm just going to talk about it as a whole. Plague Tales Innocence is the first one and tells an incredibly gripping story about a couple of kids in the most grim circumstances you could imagine. It really nails the horrifying setting with its standout visuals and a thick atmosphere that you just have to experience, at least once. Meanwhile, the second title, Plague Tale Requiem, delivers one of the most powerful stories ever conceived in a video game. It's got everything you need, from the gripping story to the nice gameplay, graphics, atmosphere, intensity. No wonder some players like to call it The Last of Us of the Middle Ages. Number 9, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Picking up right where it left off, Rift Apart is a direct sequel to Into the Nexus and continues the adventures of the furry hero Ratchet and his trusty robot friend Clank. Even if you've no familiarity with the Ratchet and Clank series, Rift Apart is an accessible introduction. Set in a bright and cartoony sci-fi galaxy, the game follows Ratchet, a furry alien space hero, and his robot sidekick Clank, as they attempt to solve an interdimensional crisis set off by one of their old foes. Though there's a weight of history here, with tons of references for longtime fans and the pair almost playing the role of retired veterans after their many adventures across the series' 20 years of games, it's all easy enough to understand. Clank wants to help Ratchet find his lost people, Ratchet is trepidatious about it, and they want to save the universe. Simple. Said interdimensional crisis provides sufficient excuse for yet another multiverse-hopping story. And for the introduction of Rivet and Kit. These two are essentially female versions of the leads, but fully realised and compelling in their own right. And as totally new heroes provide an even easier lead into the game for newcomers. As you progress through the story, you alternate between playing Ratchet and Rivet, who share all the same abilities and equipment, but have very different outlooks on the world. From a visuals point of view, Ratchet & Clank is easily one of the best games you must play on the PS5 right now. From the adorable bobbing of Lombax's ears as you run, to the Pixar-like quality of every cutscene, your eyes will be in for a massive treat. Scene transitions are so fluid that sometimes you even miss the fact a cutscene has ended and you can control your character again. Rivaling its visual output, the game also sounds amazing, especially when you put on some 3D audio headphones and fully immerse yourself in the experience. Even without them, your controller will complement what's happening on the big screen and offer appropriate sounds like the jingling of bolts and rumble when you collect some after defeating an enemy. Coupled with its action and storyline, the game becomes a truly immersive experience. Number 8, Uncharted 4. Don't get me wrong, the whole Uncharted series is amazing, but 4 really is the cherry on top. Naughty Dog really raised the bar across the gaming industry with this one. From thrilling shootouts to an amazing level of detail, breathtaking visuals and emotional depth, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End really is a 10 out of 10 game that you must play. The plot of this game is very straightforward. Nathan Drake discovers that his older brother Sam is alive after 15 years of believing otherwise, and Sam convinces Nathan to come out of exploration retirement to help him discover the ultimate pirate treasure that they had been seeking those 15 years ago. The antagonists are Rafe, who is Nathan and Sam's older partner, who also seeks the treasure, and Nadine, the leader of a mercenary group that Rafe hires. Series mainstays Eleanor and Sully round out the cast. Probably the most compelling aspect is its amazing storytelling, which is all about the importance we lend our idols, legends and myths, how we pass down the ones that inspire us. Uncharted 4 has really outdone itself from both a story and design perspective, and as a consequence, it's a game that many still talk about to this day. Number 7, Ghost of Tsushima. In recent years, many games have solidified their position as a great form of storytelling. The Ghost of Tsushima is one prime example. The intricate storyline of this title is actually moulded into two main plots, one that revolves around Jin Sakai defeating the Mongols, and the other revolving around him losing his honor in the process. Samurai were expected to follow an honor code when fighting, and Sakai had to violate this code in order to protect his homeland from the deadly invasion. This leads to an immersive and complex plot that's not only action-based, but delves into the inner conflict that Sakai faces as he violates his code of honor to protect his home and loved ones. The game was PS4's biggest launch in Sony history, and an instant success. Its thematic appeal, cinematic value, and quality of gameplay quickly made it a favourite of many players. Whether you're a seasoned gamer or someone who's simply in the search for a great story, Ghost of Tsushima is what you're looking for. 6. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Let me just say this first, Final Fantasy as a series is a great one, but sometimes you have to pick that one game that really makes the whole franchise stand out, and this is the one I've picked. As Final Fantasy VII Remake's direct successor, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth takes it upon itself to improve in a variety of areas where the previous game was lacking. FF7 Remake did a largely admirable job of translating the first segment of the classic RPG to a modern format, but it also had its fair share of shortcomings that sometimes threatened to overwhelm its strong points. With better-looking NPCs, better weapon upgrading system, unique dungeons, better side quests, and overall greater gameplay variety, Rebirth had managed to bring the franchise to a whole new level. And if you're enjoying this video so far, let us know by hitting that like button. Number 5. Skyrim. When Bethesda launched Skyrim for the first time in 2011, I'm sure nobody would have been able to predict its success and longevity. Yet, here we are, over a decade later, the most popular entry in the Elder Scrolls series is still going as strong as ever. One of the main reasons Skyrim is so popular today is largely thanks to its ever-vibrant modding community. That being said, whether you indulge in mods or not, there are literally years of fun to be had in the mythical world of Tamriel. Even without all the mods, I'd still say Skyrim was the best game ever. Not just because of its inherent qualities, but the fact that it's able to inspire such love and devotion in others. Number 4. Cyberpunk 2077. Like I've said in the intro of this video, perfection doesn't exist, and to be honest, when it first launched, Cyberpunk was far from it. I would dare say it was galaxies away from perfection. But just look at where it is now. 4 years later, Cyberpunk 2077 is a perfect 10 out of 10 game that you should definitely play. Yes, the Phantom Liberty DLC is the last major update the game will ever get, but let's be honest, it's great the way it is now. You guys already know my opinion on the game, as it's not the first time I'm mentioning it in a video on this channel. But really, if you are having any doubts about it, Cyberpunk 2077 is now a must-play game. Number 3. God of War 2018. Yet another game and franchise you'll hear me talk about a lot on this channel is God of War. But if I were to pick a single title from the series that I would feel really represent it accurately, it's God of War 2018. And I'm not the only one who thinks this way. In fact, when IGN did the best video game of all time bracket in 2021, the majority voted for this game. It's the game where Kratos, a one-note character, develops into a more complex being, embracing both the warrior and father duties. The story, the world, the gameplay, they all come together to create this amazing game that really shifted the entire franchise into what I like to think is the best direction it could take. Number 2. The Last of Us Part 1. When it initially released for the PS3 back in 2013, The Last of Us really felt like a gritty science fiction game. Nowadays, it feels more like a warning that hits all too close to home. Still, despite all that, this is an exceptional game that has snagged hundreds of industry awards. There's even a PS5 remake that released in September of 2022. So if you really haven't played this amazing game yet, now is the best time to do so. The environments are beautiful, the sound design impeccable, the gameplay relentlessly satisfying, but it's the singular storytelling and characters that elevate The Last of Us Part 1 to something far greater than yet another Game of the Year contender. 9 years, a PS4 remaster, and a PS5 remake later, it's abundantly clear. Video games don't get much better than this. Number 1. Red Dead Redemption 2. 6 years later, and Red Dead Redemption 2 is still the type of game that's in a class of its own. There are yet to be any open-world titles to be released that could even compete with it. The sheer scale of the game is spectacular, but unlike most big open games, Red Dead Redemption 2 never feels empty. From a technical point of view, this game really is a marvel. It's not just photorealistic, it has an incredibly clean open world, with very few bugs or hiccups that one would expect from a game this size, as well as a huge range of environments to explore. The character you play, Arthur, leaves his mark on the world in a variety of ways, both subtle and obvious. But he never feels like the world's only protagonist. Everyone has a story to tell. What other games do you think are near to perfection as possible? Let me know your favourites in the comment section below, and who knows, I might do a part 2. And if you enjoy gaming content and don't want the fun to stop, make sure to check the 2 videos linked on screen.